Hello, it's Dawn. I'm very excited to do this reading today. It is called Looking Back at Burnt Bridges, and it was inspired by a picture, a photograph that my son took. So I've been waiting for the right time to do a reading regarding that idea. And then it came to me, and I waited for the right time, and it was the finish up of all the retrogrades. Now that we're all moving direct for a little while until Pluto goes retrograde on May 4th. So what is going on? I wanted to look at each sign, and I wanted to be able to give us a look at where we're headed and what we've come out of. So we're looking at now what? The bridges have been burnt. The relationships that needed to end have ended. And now what? So let's take a look. We're going to start with Aries. And got to hit a volunteer already. Okay. This is so Aries. Okay. Yes. So what does this want to tell you, Aries? Dragon's Lair. This is definitely saying, Aries, what you've had in the past, now you need to protect your home. You need to protect and I think take a beat. You have all this energy going on in your sign. You just had Neptune step into it. And Chiron is there. There's still a lot of healing going on for you personally, depending upon the degrees. You kind of have things at the end and things at the beginning. And you will have Venus coming into that area of the chart pretty soon. Mars will be trining anything that happens to be in that area of the chart at the very beginning. So it's huge for you all this time. And this is a good time now to settle in and use the dragon lair energy of, okay, I have defended what I feel is mine. I have set my boundaries. Very much so. And the other thing would be knowing that you have that it's still warrior energy, even though you're in your own castle, is what I'm going to say. So, just because you're taking a beat and not reacting, it's a famous Aries trait is reacting. Let's see what wants to come out for you coming forward. It's kind of like, what are we doing now? What does the future look like? And then I'm going to pull some tarot cards for further advice. So wanted to just, oh, you want me to draw you? Okay, got it. Right here. Waking the lion. Waking the lion. You are going to be very, very active in the future. It's very interesting with Mars coming in to Leo, that you are going to be having a trine to what's going on in your chart. So there's going to be action that you can take that'll be beneficial for you because it's a trine energy. I would say, for now, hold space, knowing that you're going to be very active in the future, that you're going to be pushing towards your goals very, very soon. So what do we have? Okay, there's the first one. So this one wants to come out. One more. I do prefer to try and get the cards to come out on their own for messages. Okay, very nice. So you have the Seven of Swords. What is that advice to you? No, normally the Seven of Swords is maybe someone that's not being sincere or an enemy in the camp or anything like that. For me, this particular Seven of Swords, this is a Wizard's Tarot. This is about know your enemy, study up. And I think obtaining knowledge is probably one of your best activities right now to know what's going on. You do have the Four of Cups. I know it's hard to have patience. I know that it's very, the idea of an Aries sitting around reading a book, you must have other things in your chart, but it's going to be to your benefit. Mercury is going through Aries, and Mercury is very much about learning. I just feel like there's a time for learning going on right now. And then what do we end with? Page of Cups. You can still have fun. You can go out and do the things that you love to do, whatever your passions are. And with Aries, you have to be very physical. And you will need to get rid of some of the energy when Mars is doing all that trining energy, especially if it's whatever is the degrees in your chart that you might have your ascendant or your sun or your moon. So take a look at the degrees that things are in Aries for you. You have healing going on in the 20-degree area of your chart. And the sun just left, basically, as of today. So really look at that energy for yourself. Okay, so now we are going to go with the energy of Taurus. Now, Taurus is a very interesting energy to me. It's so earth connected. I don't think there's any sign that is more connected in a flowing way to Gaia than Taurus. And I think has a lot to do with the ruler, which is Venus, a sister to Earth, a sister to Gaia. So let's see what the cards are here for Taurus. For the map, Enchanted Map, coming to life. Number 29 adds to an 11, coming to life for Taurus. This is that season of the year when we plant things. This is this new moon in Taurus energy of setting your intentions, of moving forward. You know, you've had what happened in the past. It's ended now. And usually if a Taurus makes a decision about something like that, they don't turn back. They do not turn back. So what does that mean for you? It means that you have more space in your life for better things coming to life. A merry motive. This is really saying you need to enjoy your life as much as you can, to the fullest. And I know Tauruses are homebodies. I know that. But that doesn't mean you can't have a fire in your own yard and enjoy the peace and the beauty of that. And enjoy the sense of wonderment. You can have anything that you want. You have done the work. Venus, your ruler, was retrograde for, I think, 43 days. And that was a lot of work that you had to go through with Mercury involved in that at the same time, over the same degrees in Pisces, where the North Node is, and eclipses. So you had a lot going on, and you still have Uranus in your sign. So big energies for you, big energies for you. With Taurus, what you have there is in a sextile to the Pisces energy. And I think that is, you've been able to work with that energy. Saturn is in Pisces, Venus is in Pisces, and you still have what you can do with those two energies moving forward. I always think of, Venus and Saturn. Saturn is about time and long-term things. And for me, with Venus there, it's, what do you truly desire that is going to take some time to get everything in place? I do happen to think that we are going to be manifesting things in a very quick fashion, but I believe that the universe also wants to have divine timing for us. Oh, yeah. And it will put things in our place when the timing is right, when we're ready for it. Like if you start a new business, you're not ready for 1,000 customers the first day. So I think you should bear that in mind. So let's see what we've got here. One more to come out, please. And one flipped. Okay, got it. Ooh, nice. So looking back, something has definitely ended for you. 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. And that is a lot of times that's portrayed as someone at the end of a journey. You're almost to the village. You've been carrying this, you've been doing all the work. And Tauruses are famous for continuing on, keeping the faith. And I feel like this is the knowledge. This to me is very much, normally it's all about the wands, but in this particular case, I would say this is the knowledge that you have gained out of all that hard work that you've done while Venus was retrograde. And here we have the Five of Cups. 3 are spilled, 2 are remaining. And every time I see this, I always think of the astrological clock in Prague. She is weeping. 3 cups have spilled, but the cups didn't break. They're still useful. The 2 of cups that are remaining in that, to me, it's very magical, that tree. And you see the petals that are in the air. It's like, to me, it's very fairy magic kind of energy. So I always think of the 5 of Cups as she's not looking at the right thing. She's not paying attention. To me, it's very much in like nearly every deck that I look at, the 5 of Cups to me is, yes, you had disappointment, but you're not looking for the solutions that are right around you. And there's more than one solution. There's more than one answer to a problem. Sometimes we forget that. It's like, okay, I have a choice A or a choice B. No, there are other choices besides that. And not making a choice is a choice. And it's not a very good one. Either commit one way or the other. You think there's 2. I still think there's more. But the inaction of not doing something, that is a decision. And it's not a very smart one because you have no energy behind it. You'd have no intention behind it. It's going to struggle. It's going to not work out. What is the last card? Ace of Cups. It's the beginning. It's intuition. It's knowing that you're going to be offered something. And this can be the start of a new relationship, new friendships, all of those things. I always think of the cups as such watery energy and emotion. And, I think you need to, what I'm getting here is, you need to enjoy yourself. You need to realize that, what you went through has brought you wisdom. And it may have been disappointing, but you're not seeing where the other paths are that you can be going down. Usually you'll see in usually there's like a castle in the distance, and there's a path to go down for most five of cups, right? There are other options. This looks like there's still magic that's wanting to be used, right? And then this Ace of Cups. You've got new things coming in. There's no doubt you have new things coming in. So take advantage of that. So let's go on to my ascendant, Gemini. I've been thinking about all the different options, all the different learning opportunities for Gemini coming up. Quite a few. You have Uranus going to be entering on July 7th into Gemini. I have Mars at 6 degrees of Gemini, as well as my ascendant is like at 14 degrees. So I think that this is going to be, even for Geminis, it might be a bit overwhelming, everything that is coming at you so fast. So I think you need to realize that we are going to need to pace ourselves. I always laugh because they're like, oh, Gemini always is juggling, they're multitaskers. They always have 2 things going on. And I'm like, just 2. On a slow day, 6, right? So for fellow Geminis out there, we do need to quiet the mind. Trust me on this. I have Mars in Gemini. We do need to quiet the mind occasionally, just to absorb and process the things that we've been learning. That downtime is very important for us to just turn off. I mean, I love music. I love music. And there's times that you just have to be in silence so that your brain can process things and think through things, even unconsciously. I do a lot of stuff unconsciously, and then the answer spits out really cool. So this is number 40, follow the leader. And who's the leader? The fairies, right? There's time in this tree, and that seems to be a theme. It came up in the Aries reading. No, yeah, maybe it was Aries. So you look at this energy. Geminis are very social, and you're a mutable sign. So for you, it's not hard to follow a leader. You can change with the times. You know, if you have a plan A and it doesn't work out, it's like, okay, next, plan B. Okay, adjust and conquer, right? So that's what with us using the energy of going away from what we finished off with the retrogrades. That's how I look at this. Follow the leader. There's just so much opportunity. That's what I'm getting. Just so much opportunity. The Oracle's gift. Oh, honestly, yes. I think Gemini's, that communication level, Uranus is just an insane level of, it's like the upgrade of Mercury, right? And it's a collective thing. And it's going to be moving into Gemini, where it gets along just fine. So again, you are going to be getting some amazing gifts. This is a number 37 card. I like that prime number. And for us, for everyone, I will say this, for everyone, we are definitely getting a time of upgrades to gifts, new gifts coming in. The thing is, we don't know how to use them yet. And because of that, because we don't know how to use them, we're not even aware that they're there. Or we get an inkling of, okay, how did I know that? Or why did that just pop in? I happen to, I have I'm a Gemini. I have conversations going on in my head all the time. I have arguments with people in my head before I ever have an argument in person with someone. So I kind of laugh at that. So I'm having to step back. That's one of the things I had to give up for my Libra full moon, was that kind of energy that just drags you down. So what is this looking back at burnt bridges and then moving forward for you, Gemini? You're going to be getting gifts. Okay, these two want to come out. One more. I haven't seen what they look like yet, so we'll see what comes up and how they want me to turn them over. That's the thing with Gemini oh yeah, we did. Okay. So this flipped itself over. So I'm going to take this as the first one because it told me to. Page of Swords. I hate to say this, but you can't always trust everyone, right? Be careful of who you trust, right? Page of Swords. This can be someone, I know that was the first thought that came to my head. So that's what I'm going to say. But it also can be definitely about a new thought process that's going to be coming in, new things that are going to be happening. So I think that is something that you can think about. But I feel like, I'll see what the other cards are, but I'm like, be careful who you trust, who you tell your secrets to. Yeah, definitely. All right. So this one wants to come out next. We'll see what it is. Oh, yes, the Sun card. You're going to be just fine. And I feel like with the Sun card, we're going to be going into Gemini season. So the Sun is going to be moving through that area of the chart. And it's going to be moving right before Uranus gets there, because Uranus doesn't enter until July 7th when the sun is in Cancer. So this is very interesting. The sun is going to lead the way. That's what I feel like. The sun is going to lead the way. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. I do feel like you might, you're weighing your options. Gemini is very dualistic. I always laugh because, one side of me being a Minnesotan, I like putting on my hiking boots, going out with a jacket and my flannel shirt on and hiking with my dog. And the other part is, getting dressed up, making myself put on makeup, that kind of thing. And then going out and just enjoying myself that way, enjoying myself with friends. So there are options out there. And I feel like, sometimes you don't have to make the choice. You can do, because I'm a Gemini, and because this is a Gemini part of the reading, if it's possible to do both, I would. And she seems like she's got things pretty well balanced. So as long as you can keep things balanced, I think. I mean, we've gotten rid of the old junk, the things that we had to work through, all of that energy, and now we're into something that, I feel like you're going to be getting amazing things. And I think what's going to happen is the sun is going to prepare that way for Uranus. So really utilize that sun energy when it meets up with your own sun or your moon, which is setting a new moon in your own chart when the sun goes over it. And the ascendant, wow, what's coming for you with Uranus entering. And I'm going to be in that same thing. And with me, here's the crazy thing. I have my ascendant is like 1450 something. And so the evening star Venus, we had the retrograde, but the one before that was in June of last year, that was on my ascendant, which also happens to be where the Uranus North Node is. So it's been very unexpected times for me. It's great. It is great. So now we are going to look at Cancer energy. And Cancer, I know that, wow, you're getting all this energy in Aries square to you. So it has been definitely work. It was easier. The easier energy is the stuff that's going on in Pisces, because you're benefiting from all these amazing downloads and dreams and intuition and upgrades in your life. But you did have to go through a lot because Mars was in your sign, and you had a lot to deal with family, which is extremely painful, because that's where Cancer's heart is with their family, and nothing can hurt a Cancer more than their family can. So let's take a look. Wishing well. So looking back at burnt bridges, I think you had to, there's decisions that you had to make for your own well-being. And wishing well is, now that you've cleaned up that energy, and I really think it's more of a cleaning up, cleaning out, because you could have used this time, if it wasn't dealing with family, it was dealing with home projects, it was dealing with decluttering, it was dealing with getting all those things out of your home that you don't need or use anymore. And it makes room for new things to come in. Brand new things. Utilize the new moon in Taurus for the energy of, it's in a sextile, so that'll be in a sextile to Cancer. The energy of the universe offering you an opportunity. It's generally an opportunity that comes up for you, but you have to take action in order to get the benefit of it. You can choose not to do anything. Oh, these two came out together. Okay. Okay. So you feel kind of like the land in between. I've cut off what was. Looking back at burnt bridges. Now what? Guess what came out? endless possibilities, endless possibilities. We have Neptune in Aries, which is going to, it's like a 12-year transit. I was explaining it to someone the other day as, and it's not really very comfortable for Neptune. So imagine that, you know, it's in the spring of the year and you want to go swimming. And so you go to the pool and it's, you know, the pool looks, you know, there's nice sunshine on it. So you're going to jump in and, you know, it's a hot day, but the pool isn't heated. So you jump in and it is a shock. It is something that you weren't expecting. And you're not comfortable and it's going to take you a little while to get used to it. Well, that's the energy I feel like Neptune and Aries, although you can reverse the hot and the cold thing, but that's what I feel like. It's like Neptune is not used to being in Aries yet. It just got there. And it's getting used to the shock of being there. Then it's going to go back into Pisces and be at 29 degrees. And when it's doing that, I think what's going to happen is that we will get more and more people who get the Neptunian gifts of downloads. And this is for anybody, especially who has things in the late degrees of Cancer. I have a 25-degree Cancer sun. So the eclipse that was in Pisces, at the very first eclipse that happened for that axis was 25 degrees of a full moon. So, well, what does that mean? Well, it means that that's a sensitized point and the North Node is going to be there. And so we also did have a full moon that was at 23 degrees. And I think that being the full moon in Virgo, so the sun was there at 23, and then you had the Virgo area of the chart where the South Node is. I have my own opinions about that as well. So what do we have coming for Cancer? Knight of Cups. I like the Knight of Cups. I know he's traveling through the water and it looks a little bit more deep than I would probably be comfortable on with a horse. But for the most part, that is generally the energy of the Knight of Cups to me is you enjoy the journey. You enjoy the journey. And just because you're a Cancer and you like home doesn't mean that you can't go out and explore and enjoy things. You know, you've had all this energy of what was in Pisces, and so you've gotten all these gifts, and now I feel like you need to utilize them. And to do that, you need to get out in public a little bit more. Eight of Wands, messages are going to be coming in. You're going to be kind of guided as to what you're supposed to be doing. You know, sometimes it's like, oh, got some place I have to be. Out the door I go. Isn't that amazing? Synchronicities, people, synchronicities. So look at that energy. There's an hourglass on that book. I'm a Gemini rising and a Cancer sun. I love books. Love books. I love learning. But sometimes it's time to get out there and put that learning to use, right? So what is the other card that wants to come out for Cancer? What does the other card want to come out for Cancer? Oh, I'm having so much fun here. I want you to volunteer. Seriously. What one? This one. The Hanged Man. Looking at things from a different perspective. I do feel like there's travel in your future because looking at things from a different perspective, sometimes, you know, the wands are going out the window, and looking at things from a different perspective, sometimes it's being in a different place can give you that different perspective. And you do have this endless possibilities. I do feel like, you know, really, I feel strongly that this is journey energy because this is about movement. It's the second slowest night, but it is about enjoying the journey and getting going to see things from a different perspective. I do think that, yeah, the land between. I think wherever you may be going, it might not be where you end up, but you've got some, I think you've got some journeys to make, is what it feels like. You've got some journeys to make. which is also a lesson to myself because I think the cards are giving me a message as well. All of these too. I've had my Gemini message come through and the Cancer message came through. So now we're going to Leo. Wow, you've got Mars coming in hot. It's just been in Cancer, where it was a very strong swimmer, very protective of home energy, got things straightened around at the house, and now it's coming into Leo. Mars likes being in Leo, that fire energy. So let's see what Leo has to say. It's very interesting that what's going on in Aries is going to be trining you. And the Chiron energy is also trining you. So you've had opportunity for healing, especially in those later degrees of the chart. I think it's like Chiron takes like 9 years to go through a line. So you've been working on yourself, and sometimes when it's that long of a transit, there's unconscious things that are happening. So you better defining yourself, I think. All right, we're just going to set that there just a second because there was a card that flipped while I was talking about you. So let's take a look at what your oracle cards are. Looking back at burnt bridges, and now we're moving forward. So into the unknown. Into the unknown. That is very true. And you are across from Pluto. You are across from Pluto. So Aquarius would be your 7th house. House of one-on-one relationships. So I think there's been big changes. I will let you know that I had Pluto opposite my Cancer sun, and it's not easy work. So whatever you have in Leo, we do have the Mars-Pluto opposition that's going to be happening. So if you have anything in those early degrees, you are going to be feeling it into the unknown. And Pluto will take things away, but it always brings in, once you clean up the mess, because it always creates a mess. Once you clean up the mess, you will then be able to get something even better in. So embrace that unknown and look at it from a higher view. What is Pluto? It's Pluto doesn't take no for an answer. And if it's opposite your sun, moon, or rising, there are definitely changes coming in for you. Definitely changes coming in for you. And what happens when in July of 2026, we are going to be getting the North Node moving into Aquarius. So you are going to be getting, you've got things coming. You've got things coming for you. So you need to start doing that higher view now, I feel like, because the Aries energy in your chart is with Neptune there. What can you turn into reality? What is Neptune in Aries going to help you turn into reality? I think that is really what it's saying for you. And the first card that flipped over here is very interesting. It's the High Priestess. It's very much a Cancer energy. I think that it's something, I know that you're a Leo and you're big-hearted and everything, but I think this is knowledge that you can keep to yourself. Not everyone needs to know what your plan is. Not everyone needs to know what the plan is. Look at things from a higher perspective. Changes are coming, right? Much higher perspective. And I have been very much into talking about High Priestess energy with this Venus retrograde. So to me, it's that stepping into that energy of knowing, now you know who you are. You know who your friends are. Okay, this flipped. This wanted to come out. Okay. Oh, again, this is the 10 of Wands. This is knowledge that has come through all that you've been through. And I think when it's like, the High Priestess is getting all this knowledge, I just don't feel like you're going to be talking about it that much, or that you shouldn't be. Yeah. Be careful this is the devil energy. Be careful who you share your plans with. The devil energy is often about who we give our power over to. With the devil energy, it's generally that we have given our power over to something or someone else. And the only way to fix it is we have to fix it ourselves. We have to take that power back. I have my North Node in Leo. So it's very much about getting out there. But it's I feel like the stuff that you're getting, oh, you did also have, you actually had an extra card come out. Oh, that's kind of nice. King of Wands. I really get, I think this is like a business thing. I think that you're going to have ideas. I think that the ideas are going to come in because of you've got the base of knowledge to do this, but don't give your power over to someone else. That's the devil energy. Take the power back and then be like this very attractive King of Wands energy. You make the decisions. It's your baby. You're going to take your authority back. So still that king energy, but really good kings have really good political strategies and they don't share that. So I would say that is your focus. So you actually had 4 cards come out, and it's a lot about, I feel like keeping your own counsel, Very interesting. Okay, so now we're going to Virgo energy. And Virgo, you have the South Node moving through your sign. You have all this energy. So you are releasing, looking back at burnt bridges. What is the release? I'll put that here. Yep. What is the release for you? Well, hopefully it is going to more spiritual things and getting away from, hopefully you've learned the lesson of Libra of getting away from toxic people pleasing. Libra, Virgo, Cancer, all guilty of that. All 3. You should have taken your power back, or are in the process of, because the South Node is moving through there energetically. So it sucks when the South Node is in your sign. Because there's a lot of things that were not for your greatest and highest good that are going to need to be released. And it's the node, it's fated energy. It's going to happen. It's going to be released. And if the tighter you hang on, the worse it's going to get. Release with grace and know that you're heading toward the North Node, that higher spirituality, higher knowledge, no victim mentality. You are there to take a seat at the table, not serve at the table. And people that had this generation, I'm one of them, that had Pluto in Virgo, we are going to be called upon to be leaders in the not too distant future. So we need to get our act together and release all those things that we remember from our own childhoods of not having authority, like having to wear dresses to school as a young girl, even in the wintertime in Minnesota, right? And not being able to have a bank account or a credit card without husband's approval, right? We can remember those times. We can remember being at work and having to wear nylons, even if we were wearing slacks. And for a while, slacks might not have been permitted at where you were working. Just think of the changes in what nurses used to have to wear, right? White shoes, those like stockings, and then the white uniform with the hat on top. You don't see nurses dressed like that anymore, but that's what was expected. So Virgo, intention, number 22 card. You're going to learn so much. This is also very Venus energy to me because you see that owl there. New things are going to be hatching. New things. And hopefully you got rid of those on that Libra full moon. You released those energies. Journal and burn. And wisdom has come in. And also You see what's on there? It's holding a dandelion in its mouth. Make a wish. Where I grew up, that's what you did when you came across dandelion flowers that were at seed. Okay, the uncharted sea. That is, to me, what Pisces is going to be for you. And I feel like that is really weird. It looks like whatever that little thing it is in it looks like a 7. The second I looked at it, that's interesting. To me, I just got this as a message. This is the node right here. This is the node. The north node is in Pisces. You have the south node in your sign. You're heading towards the north node. Your energy is going to be there. You're not going to know where you're going or what you're going to be called to do. And Virgo, fortunately for you, you are a mutable sign. Mutable sign. So I like that for the rest of us, because you being a mutable sign allows you to adjust very easily to changes and you can keep us all organized. You definitely can keep us all organized. So it's like, okay, something happens. Well, what are our resources? You're like, okay, I can catalog them, get the list, get it to you, know what we've got as resources, then we can make a plan. You're all about setting up systems. So I think that's going to be, remember, don't be anybody else's drudge worker, the drudgery work. That's not what you're meant for. You are a high priestess. Virgo is that sign of high priestess. Take that energy forward with you. And here you have one of the things that popped out. You may not know where you're going, but you're going to be stylish when you get there. And take that authority onto yourself, that Queen of Wands energy. Like, I'm not only a high priestess, I'm a queen. I got this. Oh. And what did we have jump out? 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. To me, very much, I feel like you can very much protect what is yours in a very magical way, right? It's like, I don't think people, it's like they don't realize what strengths you have. It's kind of unexpected. I like that this person is cloaked and you can't see exactly what's going on. It's like, that's your best disguise. I don't really watch the show very much. The very apocalyptic stuff, but it's like you have this person that looks like this unassuming woman, and these people come up to her and they're going to like hassle her and everything, and then she's the one to be scared of. This one woman all by herself, and you have this like gang, and you're like, oh man, I feel sorry for them. It's like, yeah, that's what I feel. That's what I feel like this energy is like, oh, they do not have any idea. It's just like, you're so capable. And they're like, they don't know you. They don't know what you can be capable of. Cause you know where all the supplies are, where everything's done. Just like, do you know the resources that are available to a Virgo? So funny. Okay. Oh yeah. Recognition. That recognition. You really don't get the recognition that you deserve, honestly, because of that unassuming thing, right? It's like the high priestess going about her business, making magic happen, and people are like, oh, they take it for granted. That is their mistake. Their mistake. 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands. So this is an extra little bonus for you. 2 of Wands is about asking. Setting intentions. I tell you to set intentions on the new moon in Taurus. It is trine your energy in Virgo. You are, both of you, including, and the third one will be Capricorn, are all earth signs. You are mutable earth. And to me, that's the connection with Virgo and service, again, it's not serving the table, it's taking a seat at the table. So please remember that and set your intentions for what you want. You have more power than you know, and you are so unassuming, and people do that to their own peril if they take you for granted. I just had a little pop that, yeah, people have taken the divine feminine for granted for a long time. You're like, it's going to be so surprised. And I feel that way because of all the new discoveries that are coming about, that there's just something in the DNA. It's in the blood. It is in the blood. That phrase has always been in my head for a long, long time. So from Virgo, we go to Libra. So Libra, looking back at burnt bridges, you should have already have had the lesson of getting out of people pleasing, toxic people pleasing, going along to get along. The South Node went through your sign, so you would learn that lesson. Did you? Did you learn that lesson? So what I want to do is take a look at this energy as to what's next. What bridges got burnt for you and what happens next? So I'm just shuffling here for a second. Oh, I had a couple things pop out. You know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna take those for a reason, because I want to have the oracle cards come out first. Magic stream. Magic stream. Now, Libra is a cardinal sign. It is opposite Aries. You're going to have Neptune is across from you now. Neptune is across from you now. So anything that you have in Libra is going to be in an opposition to Neptune, which is, those will be longer transits. So if it's your sun, moon, or rising, it's going to get a lot of attention from Neptune. But I think more importantly, so to me, it's that magic stream. But the thing is, Neptune by itself isn't going to be activated until something else activates it. So to me, it's like, what is going to be coming over it in a conjunction? So, and I am talking about when Saturn gets there. Okay. Or when the other planets come around and go back over that area of the chart. So they'll be activating Neptune when they go over that area of the chart. And you can have squares and things that are going to be activating that as well for you. But Neptune by itself needs something to release that bit of magic. It just doesn't keep flowing and coming to you just because it's there. So if you don't have anything in Libra and Neptune is entered in, Venus is your ruler. So Venus having any kind of conversation with Neptune by square or trine or things like that, or when things come into Libra and it's in your house, right? Sorry, you would at least have the sun, moon, or rising if you're watching this, but it would be an activation of something else to have Neptune giving you a gift of this magic that comes through, because it can be very inspirational. Neptune can, that higher level. It can also be sometimes very murky when there was a lot of things that we were just at the end of Pisces, Neptune was there. It was like, we do not know anything that's going on. We don't know the truth. We can't believe the news, any channel, whatever. You couldn't believe it. So looking at that, and now looking at divine matrix. Because you're a cardinal sign, what happens in your sign, this is the number 44, that's lovely. What happens in your sign and in Cancer and in Capricorn also is the world axis, especially at the very beginning. And we are entering a brand new time. And Libras are very much about seeing justice and equality. And I think that's an important thing for you to think about. And I think that's why I put the cards back, because I didn't really see what one was. I saw one of the cards, and we'll see if that comes out. But I felt like that wasn't really your message. I feel like that was, for me, this is about you getting prepared, that you should have already learned the lessons, hopefully. You do have Chiron in a square to the later things in your sign. So in that 22 to 25 degree, actually more like 25 degree. So let's see what comes out for you. What came out? Nine of Swords. Get out of your head. It's hard for those air signs. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords. This is like a really bad dream. Hopefully this has been ended for you by getting out of some of those toxic relationships, those burnt bridges. Do not rebuild that bridge. You and Virgo and Cancer, don't rebuild those bridges. Don't. So, oops, one more. No, two more actually. What's this one? Nine of Pentacles. You're going to be able to get the work done. This is a very independent woman. The Knight of Pentacles is usually a woman. To me, it's a very independent businesswoman. Very Queen of Pentacles kind of energy, right? She's going about having things. I feel like she's very about divine timing, having things come at the right time for her. She's planted her seeds in a way that, she'll always have abundance. And she's taking advantage. No, she currently is holding a book. I love that. I love anything about books. So Nine of Pentacles, very nice energy. Nine of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, two nines, very interesting. Very interesting. Things are coming to an ending. I feel like with the one Nine of Swords, and then it's like, okay. Four of Swords. Wow, what have you gone through? Yeah, I think you had a really rough time with we just had that Aries eclipse at 9 degrees. And things are going to get reactivated at that eclipse degree, because you're going to have Mercury going over the top of it, which is where it's stationed retrograde. Venus is going to go over the top of it, where it's stationed retrograde. Those are going to be powerful moments. And it's going to reactivate that eclipse, which is directly across from you. So I still feel like there's something coming up for you that you're going to need to heal from. I'm going to ask for a clarification, because these two nines that showed up, and you have in the middle of the Knight of Pentacles. I want advice for Libra here. Okay. Judgment. That's interesting, because you being a Libra. Judgment to me is, you can see Venus's little owl there. That is so cool. For me, judgment is Hecate. And the interesting thing is, at this new moon in Taurus, Hecate is at the same degree in opposition. So in Scorpio at 7 degrees is where Hecate will be. And she is the dark of the moon goddess. I can't just say new moon. She's in charge of the whole dark of the moon time period. So Hecate is a really good person to go to get that energy. And it's interesting to me that this is her card. She is the person that is the goddess of the crossroads. And she's also considered three moon goddess. She's also symbolic of maiden, mother, crone energy. The different stages. She's also there to light up the way down someone's path. So she has some very strong energy. She is able, like Hermes, to go to above and this level and to the underworld. She's the one that found Persephone and helped out her friend Demeter. So that's interesting energy. Yeah, I think you're going to come to a crossroads. This is a crossroads for you. So make those decisions. I know that's really hard for you to come to a decision making, because you have to weigh every option that there ever was. But I don't think, if you have eclipse energy that is being reactivated across from you, I don't think you're going to you're going to like not be, you're not going to have time to like, I just can't decide. Eclipses are fated energy. If you are not going down the path that you should be going down, that is those times. Eclipses are the times, and activations of the nodes are the times that you will get pushed hard. Now, the nice thing is that you are going to be having Aquarius, Pluto, transformational energy. Pluto's never easy, even if it's in a trine. And you're going to have Uranus energy. It's also going to be in a trine to what's in your area of the chart. So you have a lot of things that you can utilize for yourself. Very nice. But I tell you, this thing coming up, when you have reactivations and then you have Saturn coming in, yeah, your learning isn't over. Your learning is not over. Okay, so now we're going to go on to Scorpio. Scorpio, I always laugh because with Scorpio, the first question I always ask to someone who has a lot of Scorpio energy is, so are you a good witch or a bad witch? And usually they laugh and say, it depends. Depends on the day. Depends on the person. You're extremely loyal, but if someone betrays you, you will make their life miserable for the rest of their lives, right? I think that's wasted energy. You shouldn't waste your energy like that. But let's take a look at what is coming up for you after burnt bridges. You would burn a bridge, because if someone breaks with you, they don't get back into the clubhouse, right? So what do we have here? Listening. 53. Look at the musical notes. Listening. Scorpio to me is the sign of poets and musicians. I have Neptune in Scorpio, which I love. For me, it turned out to be an opportunity to really appreciate music and be able to sink into it for healing. And I think Scorpios are very capable of being sound healers, especially if you have really nice placements there. So this listening, I feel like that's tuned into music for Scorpio. Roots of abundance. Scorpio, the deep, dark earth. I feel like what exists in the soil, and sometimes that's very scorpionic, that fertilizer, that energy that's in the soil of things coming up through that rich dirt. It's such a magical thing. Roots of abundance. You have to start off with good roots. You do. You have to start off with good roots. So I would focus your energy more. You've had this energy of the North Node is in Pisces, South Node is in Virgo. So the eclipses are going to be in a sextile or a trine to what's going on in your area of the chart. This is a great opportunity for you to move into what you feel is meant for you on a deep level. Sun, moon, rising. there's great opportunity here. And again, utilize that Scorpio deepness. I do like what Rick Levine says, that Scorpio feels things to such a depth that poets cannot write about it. And I do believe that. I believe that Scorpio is the deepest feeling of, oh, you want to, what? There's two of them that want to come right out. Okay. Is the deepest feeling of all of the signs. And I'm a Cancer sun, and we're very intuitive. But definitely. So this first one that came out, ooh, Two of Swords. This is such a Scorpio Two of Swords. It's like normally they're of course blindfolded, but it just with this particular person, watch it. They're not just sitting with two swords crossed delicately in front of them. Yeah, with Scorpios you have to watch it, right? There's definitely the two swords there, and look at that moon off in the distance. Yeah, and then there's another two that came up. This is the Two of Pentacles, weighing your options. Go deep. Go deep about what you want to do. I think you have lots of opportunities for growth coming up. Lots of opportunities. Mars is now I'm laughing because I can feel your exuberance right now. Mars is now in Leo, and you're like, thank God. Well, there's a few other thoughts that came in that you said, but mainly it was thank God. Like, thank you. This one wants to come out. Tower. It's the Tower. Something's going to be coming in for you. Something's going to be coming in for you. That card wanted to come out. One has their eyes blindfolded, one has their eyes closed. And the Tower comes in. What advice? I'm going to ask for another card to come through. Clarify, please. For Scorpio, this Tower energy. Okay, you need to be working with other people that you trust. Hopefully you've burnt the bridges to the people that were not worthy. These two, there's other cards that want to come out here. I don't see what they were, but I'm just going to flip them out because they're kind of cattywampus in the deck. The Lover's card, making decisions. And this could be, let me do one more. Working on your path, learning from other people. That's what I feel like this is. And you may find that this Tower moment is leading, honestly, I think, to a fated relationship where you should only be in a relationship now. This is the message. You should only be in a relationship that there's an equal exchange of energy. You can't be the one in charge all the time. You can't be the one making the decisions all the time. That relationship will never work. 2, balance. 2, that's it. But I do think that you could have a really amazing thing coming through. I think you'll find that person while you're working with other people. Definitely that energy is what's coming through. But I'm sure you are delighted that your ruler Mars, and I know Pluto is also your ruler, but technically, traditionally, it's Mars. And I'm sure you've been feeling it now that Mars is out of Cancer. Because you had to work a lot harder to get things done. And that, being in a fire sign now, which is something Mars likes, you're going to feel like, now I get some freedom. Now I can get some things done. I finally can get some things done. So that's good energy. And it's going to be squaring you. So you will have things coming up for you that are going to be very active, very, very active. Again, go out, enjoy. This is what I'm definitely getting, that in order to meet the right person, you have to get out there and hang out with friends. Do stuff that you enjoy anyway. Just don't go out there thinking you're on the prowl for someone. Go out and just enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. So I'm going to go from Scorpio, we go to Sagittarius. Now, one of my sons is Sagittarius. very, very, very fun energy. Ride the wave. I think the discoveries that are being made with all of the ancient things that are coming back, just downloads and downloads. A lot of them are related to water. A lot of them are related to the dolphins. I think that Sagittarius energy, it's mutable. It can accept things. It's like, well, of course that's possible. Of course we can talk to dolphins and whales. And there's things to be discovered. There is an absolutely gorgeous little fairy that's on the back of that dolphin. See? Gorgeous. So, and a fairy on the back of a dolphin. That takes some imagination. It does. So Sagittarius, the bridge got burnt, but that wouldn't stop a Sagittarius. So they're like, oh, I'll just take the dolphin. That's kind of the feeling that I get. A burnt bridge isn't something that you have such a positive energy usually, that happy-go-lucky, that you're mutable. So you would get that energy of, well, there's always another way to cross a bridge. I would say, though, those certain bridges, they don't need to be rebuilt. I feel, yeah, there's energy that we have to adjust to. I mean, I know that you're friends with everyone usually, but I feel like there's people that you have to watch out for. A grand symphony. You are a fire sign. So Mars going into a fire sign is trine you. Neptune going into a fire sign is trine you. So Neptune actually does a trine with Mars and whatever may be in the early parts of your sign, sun, moon, ascendant, in Sag. So the other interesting thing is, if you have anything around the degree of the galactic center, which is 27 degrees, you've had the nodes squaring that for 8 weeks at 27 degrees when the eclipses were going on. I counted. I went back to my Ephemeris and counted. It was 8 weeks that it sat at 27 degrees, soaking up messages from the galactic center. Galactic center is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. So if you have anything in those late degrees, you have been getting a shine on you. So let's see what is coming for you. Messages. Okay, that's a lot, but all right, I'll take. Okay, all right. Tons of stuff here. So I'm going to run through these quickly. And a lot of these are major arcana. Wow, Sag. Wow, Sag. So let's go through. You do love being out with your friends. You do like going out there. You're a mutable sign, fire sign. Let's have a party. Let's have a good time, right? This is the Hierophant. Now, your mutable sign, it doesn't strike me that you would be, I think this is a teacher coming in for you. It doesn't strike me that you'd be the leader here, but that you would be someone that this would be somebody that you would be learning from. So I do think that is going on. And that might be the messages coming in from the galactic center, because the North Node and South Node have been square that energy. And a lot of the things that have been in Pisces have been squaring that energy. You also have the sun coming in. So very interesting energy. Sagittarius is opposite Gemini. You will have Uranus being in an opposition to you. Wow. Fortunately, Gemini and Sag are both mutable, so that you can accept that change easily. But, I think you're a fire sign. The sun coming out and showing for you is like, yeah, this is a good time. The Chariot. Are things happening quickly. Things are going to be moving for you. And then there's Strength, again, associated with the sun, the Strength card. I do love that it's a dragon. You've got to love this too. I'm a dragon fan. She's working with the dragon, not against it. And the end card is Justice, Venus. So for me, if Sagittarius, if you've been, I think if you have done the things karmically that you should have been doing, then there's not going to be an issue. And I don't think that there is, because all the other cards are really good. And you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana out of 6 cards. And they came out together. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, and I have been shuffling and shuffling this deck, and now I'm going to put them in layers. But to me, that is very much huge for you. There's some huge things coming in for you. But I would say, you know, make all your decisions something that you would be proud of. You know, don't be one of those people that looks back and goes, you know, I probably shouldn't have done that. That wasn't very nice. Because that is going to hurt you. It's a lesson that that will be painful. So usually that doesn't happen with Sag very much unless they're being very thoughtless. So hopefully all of that will be for your greatest and highest good, this learning, this hierophant, this teacher that's coming in. Hopefully it'll be an easy lesson. So from Sag, we go to Capricorn. Capricorn. It was 111 when I just looked up Capricorn, so that's very interesting. Anything in Capricorn is there to work. And then I pull cleaning house, number 37. Right? And to me, this is very funny because we just have Mars entering. So Mars was in Cancer opposite Capricorn. So you would have had Mars opposite you forever from 17 degrees on in your chart is where the retrograde happened with Mars. You probably needed to take care of some things, and you've gotten that accomplished now, because Mars being opposite whatever is, sun, moon, rising in your sign would have been an impetus to get things done. House projects, cleaning closets, remodeling the kitchen, getting new furniture, any of those things. Especially, when the moon is active in Capricorn, you would have had a nice 2.5. It's like always you get that nice 2.5 day window of the moon going over that. So, and Capricorn is a cardinal sign. It's square. So you are going to be activated, especially if you have things at the very beginning of Capricorn, because it's in a square to the stuff that's starting in Aries. So pay attention to the planets and points that you have in your early Capricorn and early Cancer, even areas of your chart, because it's going to be a big deal. All right. Now, what comes next? Cleaning house. After cleaning house, it's quieting the mind. Really, this 32 card, this has been an opportunity for you. Once you've gotten that done, is like you're clearing up your spiritual space to bring things in. And you do get a bad rap. Capricorns get a bad rap for not, they're taskmasters. Yeah. Any planet or point in Capricorn, I always consider is there to work, there to accomplish things, there to get things done. But I also know a lot of Capricorns who work hard and play hard. So you're not as dull as everybody thinks. You're not as what's this? Okay. You're not as, I don't know. I think people think that it's hard for me to kind of get your energy all the time because I'm a Cancer sun. So it's like that's a father and mother energy. That's the work home energy. But I think people don't give you the credit for, there's things, there's for me, a Capricorn, when a Capricorn thinks it, they don't just think it, they think how to accomplish it. They think it, as they're thinking it, they're making a plan. right? To me, that's a very Capricorn energy. Those are the Capricorns I know. If an idea comes to them to do something, it's not just the idea that comes. Then the plan starts coming in. All right, so that's an idea. Well, how would I do that? Just you. That's just the way your mind works, which is good because if you want to get some stuff done, if you want to move, ask a Capricorn and a Taurus to help you. Okay. So that card came up, but I want to have some, oh yeah, we had a bunch of stuff volunteer. Okay, let's see. The first thing that came out was the Seven of Cups. There's going to be a lot of choices available for you. Not a surprise when you're going to be in a square to new things from Neptune and when eventually Saturn gets in there. I feel like this wanted to be the next card shown. This is Temperance. This is Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael has your back. That's good news. The infinity symbol is there. That's awesome. So that is Temperance. That is Temperance. And utilizing these energies, I feel like there's a lot of definitely cup energy here. Then you have the moon. That's actually a crab. Really, Taurus is not Taurus, it's Pisces that is this, but the moon does rule Cancer. And the moon also symbolizes which wolf do you feed? Do you feed anger and resentment, or do you feed productivity and I don't know, that energy of satisfaction? Sometimes I think that you're so accomplished on the goal, you're very goal oriented that you don't appreciate the result. So the last card that wanted to show up was the Three of Pentacles. Things are much easier when you can do things cooperatively. Here is a master, an apprentice, and a journeyman, and they're all working together to make something beautiful, right? So I feel like, and they're enjoying it. I do really teaching people new things. And I think Capricorn can appreciate that. When you are doing something or you're helping someone and it's the first time that they've done it, really celebrate that sense of accomplishment with them. They're like, "Oh, thank you for helping me. I now know I can do this." It's like teach a man to fish, right? Instead of catching the fish for them, teach a man to fish. Teach someone things that they can accomplish. And I think you'll find so much satisfaction in that. It's not sometimes about just accomplishing a goal. Although for you, that's a lot of, you get that reward, that's your reward in and of itself. But I don't think you take the time to appreciate how cool that is to accomplish a goal. You accomplish goals all the time. Other people don't get that very often, where, they're very mutable. They're like, they lose interest. Or, but with Capricorn, they have such a follow through. So does Taurus, that they get things, they see it through to the end. They finish it off. And not everybody is as devoted as that. But once they see and get that, I've done this, I know how to do a good job. You've shown me, you're very thorough, you believe in doing it in the right way. So teach someone else that, because I feel like that is where you're better off. That's the wolf that you need to feed, right? That's the wolf that you need to feed. You have lots of choices, but I think that's the benefit that's going to be for you, is teaching other people how to do things. You can be a leader and get them started and then come back around and, okay, now you're at this stage. Okay, 'cause you don't have to be standing over them every second, but you can say, okay, this is this stage. So we have to get these things done before we can continue on, if you want it to last, if you want to make sure it's done right and never have to worry about it again. Because you know how to do that. but work with other people so they understand your methods. Talk to people. I think that's really important. So we're moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius is a busy time right now. Very busy. Air. Then you have Uranus is going to be moving into Gemini, and things are going to be speeding up even more. Saturn is going to be moving into Aries. So you will have sextile energy with Pluto and with Neptune for a while here. That will help you. Very transformative. What sun, moon, or rising do you have in Aquarius? I have my moon at 6 degrees. So I've been feeling this transformational energy, and Pluto got me already when it was opposite my sun in Cancer, because I have a late degree Cancer sun. So, ooh, there's cards that flipped already. Really? Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at these cards. Ghostlands. There's so many changes coming. Oh my goodness. So this reminds me of the astrological clock in Prague, right? And I don't know if anyone's actually really figured out how all that works together, but it is a glorious thing to go see in Prague. So if you have a chance, go see it. It's really cool. Take the tour. Here is something. Time is changing. And I think you know this better than it's number 17 card. Time is changing. Aquarius is like, what else is new? You already knew this. That's the impression I'm getting. I'm like, okay, you guys are finally catching up with what's going on. Big changes. Such Aquarius energy. Like, where you guys been? I had to slow down. Wish upon a star. That's very Aquarius energy. Look at that. It's like the star card. And it's such a new age and a new time of appreciation. And Aquarius, you're going to be very responsible for leading the way in that. Truly, truly, truly. Especially once Uranus gets into Gemini, it's going to be even faster. Thought's going to be even faster. Now, normally, you're so far ahead of the curve. You're like miles and miles down the road ahead of everybody else. And so you'll catch on much more quickly. And hopefully, because Aquarius moon, you're very analytical in your mind. So you'll find a way to break it down, how to best explain it to the slower of us that are coming through. Like, okay, they don't understand what's going on. So let me kind of break it down in ways that they'll be able to understand it. So I think those are the ways that you're going to be kind of leading. You're wishing upon a star. This is great energy. We're changing. We're leaving. We're leaving the ghost lands. We're moving forward. Aquarius energy, wishing upon a star. And what it intrigues me that there's some cards that flipped out. So I'm going to dig these out that flipped out. Oh, wow. There's a bunch of them that did. Is that it? Okay. I'm surprised. Color me surprised. Okay. Very cool. Four of Cups. Why do I think this is funny? Why did I start laughing? Because this is Aquarius waiting for everybody to catch up. Aquarius, this is you waiting for everybody to catch up. Like, okay, I knew this was coming. I know it. Why are you guys so surprised? Come on. You're just impatient for everybody to catch up with you. That's the impression when I'm getting when I'm looking at this card. He's like, oh, waiting for them to mentally catch up. All those books, right? All those books, waiting for them to mentally catch up. That's the Four of Cups. But that's the energy that I got from it. Okay. Tower. It's going to be, here's the thing. Tower is very Uranus energy. And when Uranus goes into Gemini, yeah. It's kind of that's the thing that paradigms are shifting. Things are changing. And you're like, yeah, I know it was coming. So this is not really going to be a surprise to you. That's what I feel like. This is not a surprise to you. So very, very, very cool energy for Uranus. Very cool energy. And Uranus is a co-ruler of Aquarius. So I don't think you're going to be surprised by this. Not at all. Then what comes? Page of Wands. New thoughts, new ideas. Taking it at a lower learning level. I think you're kind of that guide of like, okay, you've got the wand with you. You're going to be like teaching the beginners. Okay, we're going to go over quantum theory today. You're going to be teaching people. King of Pentacles. This King of Pentacles I always find very interesting because he, unlike most of the kings, this particular King of Pentacles looks like he is ready to start out somewhere and head very wise. But most King of Pentacles are like they're situated in a castle, in a library. This one looks like he's ready to move on, move through things, get on a different path. And it's like a portal behind him. So, you're going to be the Page of Wands, explaining things to us beginners. And then you're going to be this King of Pentacles who is going to be walking us through that portal. It's like, okay, come with me. And then we end it with this Ace of Wands. You already knew this. And you're still going to be, it's not like the information is going to stop coming in from you. You're going to get more and more and more because you have that connection. Uranus is going to be a Gemini. Uranus is going to be in Gemini. You're going to be getting messages coming in. And Gemini is in a trine to Aquarius. They're both air signs. You're going to get lots of downloads. You're still going to be way, way ahead of the curve. But for us lesser humans, please explain things so we understand them. Again, I have an Aquarius moon. I can follow most Aquarius conversations. But not everybody can, especially if they have a lot of earth energy. It's just like the earth is going to be very involved in our changes coming forward as well. I mean, it's where we live. But you also understand that higher connection to other things coming through. And I'm really excited. Aquarius, we couldn't do it without you. So just be aware of that. We couldn't do any of this without your help. So now we go to Pisces. Pisces energy. Yay, Pisces. Pisces energy. You've had a lot going on. You've got the North Node there. You're having big changes happening. So sun, moon are rising in Pisces, especially late degrees now. You've had for the past 2.5 years, Saturn. Saturn going through Pisces is a taskmaster, I would say. Neptune, it gives you the ideas, but it also probably wasn't very clarifying to the ideas that you were getting. Now you have Saturn there, who's going to like, okay, now that Neptune has moved on, Saturn has a clear plan. Okay. And it's going to be hitting the North Node, has hit the North Node, will be hitting the North Node. And that's going to put you in the destination of destiny, right? What can you build, Pisces? What have you dreamt of that you want to build? Timing is everything. So, sacred pool. I feel like, when we look back at burnt bridges, the relationships that have changed for us, and now you have the South Node still affects you because it's in Virgo, your opposition. So what are you releasing? You have to release the lower vibration of Pisces is victim mentality. And Virgo and Libra and Cancer are all really, they're generous to a fault, but they have all of these toxic people-pleasing training that they need to get rid of. And you moving on with this energy of sacred pool, now that you have released, or hopefully are releasing that, once you get to that point, this is the number 47 card, take the time to, I feel like it's sinking in and enjoying your choices. You know, it's that moment when you're looking at a sunset or enjoying the sunset, you're in the water and you're just in that receiving mode. That's what I would say. There are plenty of opportunities for you still to receive things coming in this sacred pool. And it's also regenerative for you, Pisces. Pisces is about deep water, ocean. But a sacred pool is something where it's that rejuvenating energy and the sacred self, and taking the time to recognize that. I think there's been so many things that have been so murky that we really need to focus on our own personal situations and our own personal lives. So I would say that is your healing moment to go through and do those things with the sacred pool energy. And what else comes up for this? The royal you. Pisces is the last sign, and this is a number 16 card. Adds to a 7. It's interesting because at this next new moon in Taurus, we have still in Pisces Venus in her exaltation, who is the ruler of this new moon. Do use this opportunity. Taurus is it's going to be at 7 degrees of Taurus. This is a number 7 card. This is why this brought it to my mind. Things in Taurus are sextile to Pisces. So anything around those early degrees in Pisces, around that, 5 degrees either way, I would say easily. The royal you, you can set some amazing intentions and know that you're going to be getting the help from other people. That's what sextiles are, is opportunities that are being presented or someone that can help you. And I think that the other part of that is that you have Saturn still in Pisces. You're going to be able to get things done, and now you're going to have some help. So sun, moon, or rising, you still have a lot of powerful energy in Pisces. And then with this new moon taking place, you can set some really amazing intentions of abundance and accomplishing things, because the moon is exalted in Taurus and Venus is exalted in Pisces. So this energy is super strong. Do we have the Mars-Pluto opposition? Yes. Work that energy as being pushing you towards transformation. Just accept it in and say, okay, there's going to be a mess that needs to be cleaned up, but I know that this is going for my greatest and highest good. And I think you'll find that that is going to help you a lot. So sometimes you have to accept that hard Mars-Pluto energy, because it does make changes in our lives in a big way. I think it's going to be more of collective change as far as what's going on with you. You may get a little ripple effect from it, but set the attention of utilizing that energy to transform in a positive way, and use that Mars and Saturn energy. Mars being in Leo, it is a fire sign. So how does that help you? Well, it's been a change. You had Mars just leave Cancer, and that would have been trine energy to you. I think it helped you get some things straightened out. I think Mars did. So really look at that energy and set those intentions for that new moon in Taurus. And that is the 26th or 27th. I'm going to be doing a new moon ceremony on the Spiritual View and on my channel. So come see that. But what cards do we have coming out for Pisces? You're going to get things done because Saturn is there and Neptune just left. So there's lots of clarity. This is fun. We have the Magician. This is Gemini energy. you getting the benefit of having Uranus, I think it's going to be a benefit, Uranus squaring what you've got going on in Pisces. It will get you going. I'm not kidding. There's going to be towers, right? But can you utilize the unexpected things that happen? You are a mutable sign. Can you utilize the unexpected things that are happening and make them work for you? That's the magician. Let's transform that energy that's going to be coming through, right? Let's see how we can make things happen. Then we have the Eight of Cups. For me, the Eight of Cups is taking the energy, taking the knowledge that you've gotten and moving on. You don't need to take other things with you. I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to be changing jobs. I've seen that in our community where people are talking about, there's contracts that have ended, there's school systems that are changing, there are other things that are going on. And I do feel that what you can do is the reason that you were there in that job was to learn. And you're going to take that knowledge with you moving forward, because we're going to have so many things going on. So much is going to change very rapidly. The Empress. Things are going to be changing so rapidly in the work world that we need to really take the stand that opportunities will come to us. And the knowledge that we have gained from past experiences is going to be very helpful. The Empress waits for, it's like she's manifesting things in. She is the master manifester. Things will be coming in and presenting themselves to you. Set those intentions for that new moon, in Taurus. And I think you'll be able to be in that energy of creating new things. Generally, it's also, the Empress is about new life. And I think that's what this is saying, is that, there's great opportunity here. And even though I expect that you're going to get a lot of towers once Uranus moves into Gemini. Gemini is mutable, and so are you. So you can do it. You can accept the changes that are coming in and then make them work for you. And I think that is the key here. And once you do that, it's like then things just start coming in for you very easily. And you still have the North Node in your sign for over a year yet. It doesn't change until July of 2026. So you have all this faded energy and eclipses that are going to be happening on your axis. Things are definitely going to be tower moments, because that's what eclipses are too. It will put you on your path if you've fallen off of it. And if you are on your path, it will give you quantum leaps forward. So that is the good news. So I hope you have enjoyed this time. I've had a wonderful time doing this. I was so excited to be able to do this today. So I will see you soon. Bye.